Alhamdulillah, over the years, Allah has blessed us to put out a lot of content regarding Hijrah. And one of the issues that keeps coming up is the issue of, can you get nationality of the country that you want to make Hijrah to? So in this video, we want to tackle this issue. And I want to let you know ahead of time, yes, you can get the nationality in at least 26 countries that we've researched. Now let's get into it. There are three main ways to gain citizenship in these Muslim countries. Number one, descent. Descent is one of the major ways a person can gain citizenship in a Muslim country. If one of your parents are from a Muslim country, let's say they're from Pakistan, then you can have the right to citizenship in Pakistan from descent. Even if you were born in a different country, let's say you're born in the US or you're born in Canada, born in the UK, if one of your parents is from one of the Muslim countries on this list, you can gain citizenship through your parent. But let me give you a more interesting example. I knew a brother, he went on one of these sites to find out his lineage, his ancestry, ancestry.com or one of these places, and he found out that he was from the Sudan, or his people were from the Sudan. So he went to the Sudanese embassy and told them that his lineage is actually Sudanese. So through that, he was able to get Sudanese citizenship, even though he didn't have parents that he can show were from Sudan. So descent is definitely a way that you can get citizenship in a Muslim country. The second path to citizenship is marriage. In many Muslim countries, if you marry a local, you have the right to attain citizenship. Now, this varies from country to country. In some countries, it's more likely as a female that you will get the citizenship through your husband. And in other countries, it is possible, if you marry a local woman, that you can get citizenship through the marriage to the local woman. An example of this is in Turkey. We met a brother who married a Turkish woman, and through that marriage, he was able to become a Turkish citizen. And although some people might think that that's not common, it's only uncommon because not many people understand that they can get citizenship through this route. And that same thing exists in other places where you find mainly women gaining citizenships through their foreign spouse. But all in all, marriage is definitely a path to citizenship in the 26 countries that we have listed in our research. The third path to citizenship is called naturalization. Now, naturalization means that you've been in the country for a certain period of years. And in many cases, you can't leave the country, that you've been there a consistent amount of years. And through that, you can apply for citizenship in the country. In most cases, you have to have a clean criminal record. You have to know the language, at least if not fluently enough to communicate. And you have to be familiar with the culture of the country. And through that naturalization, you can gain citizenship. So an example of this is that we met a brother in Malaysia, and he was in Malaysia for a number of years. And he went to the people he knew over the years, and he told them or asked them, is it possible for him to become a Malaysian citizen because of all the years he was there? He was also married to a Malaysian, but he didn't really use that. But he did have some service towards the Malaysian government. So he leveraged that and his long time there in the country and his ability to speak the language to get citizenship. Now, there's a bonus path to citizenship that is up and coming in these times, and that is investment. Now, there are only two countries that offer investment on our list, but it's normally for people who are wealthy and that can afford to buy property outright or invest in the country in some form or fashion. So the investment case is fairly well known because a lot of people decided to go to Turkey to make Hijrah. And many of them started to look into how they could invest in order to gain the citizenship. Because at the time, it was about $250,000 of a real estate purchase, and you would be qualified to apply for citizenship. So there's many examples of that. Anyone that's been to Turkey knows someone or has heard of someone that has gained citizenship this way. So although there are a few options that you can choose from to gain citizenship in a Muslim country, it also takes some work. Each country has its bureaucracy that you have to navigate in order to gain this citizenship. I want to mention here that it's not always easy to do this. So a person has to be determined to gain citizenship in the country. And in some cases, it's not always the best approach, especially nowadays where we can do something called dynamic Hijrah, which means that we can stay in a place, gain the benefit of that place, and then move on to another place. And the reason is dynamic is because you're not stuck to one specific location. You can move from here to there, to there, to there. And then once you want to settle, you can figure out which country did you enjoy your time most in, which is the dream country that you would like to stay. And then from that point, you can try to go through these paths to citizenship. And even then, as in my personal opinion, things are getting easier. Immigration is becoming easier. It opens the door to different opportunities for locals, different business opportunities, and it brings a new influx of money into the country. So countries are making it easier to have people get residency in their countries. So in some cases, there's no need to have the actual nationality. And then it could be a strategic point for you to keep your nationality, because some may require that you denounce your citizenship in another country and just have one citizenship. So you have to look into it to see which countries allow dual citizenship. But at the end of it, it may be advantageous to just keep your citizenship and utilize that to move around to different places so that you can explore. We're not stuck to the neighborhood businesses and the neighborhood companies. Nowadays, you can set up in whatever country you like and take advantage of the lower cost of living, especially in Eastern countries. So in conclusion, we've put together a list of 26 Muslim countries that offer paths to citizenship. Not only did we mention the countries by name, we gave some more important information like the language spoken in the country, the percentage of Muslim to non-Muslim in the country, the GDP of the country, the weather and climate of the country. We put all this together so you can get an overview of what that country has to offer aside from the paths to citizenship. To download this short ebook, go to makehijrah.com/paths. I hope we dispelled the myth that you can go to these countries, but you can't have citizenship there. And we hope that this pushes forward those who have true intentions of making Hijrah and exploring their options while making Hijrah.